What is OSHA?
Formed in 1971, OSHA, or the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, is an agency in the United States Department of Labor that was created to keep American workers safer on the job. As part of the Occupational Safety and Health Act, OSHA can issue government regulations for American businesses to follow. Regulations can include requirements for personal protection equipment usage, workplace safety procedures, information access and limits on exposure to hazardous materials. OSHA also provides training materials to employers and workers to make them more knowledgeable on how to practice recognition, avoidance and prevention around the workplace. OSHA is also responsible for enforcing the standards it sets by sending out inspectors that can levy fines on businesses that do not comply. In practice, OSHA regulations have contributed to a vastly improved workplace from a safety perspective. From 1970 to 2010, worker fatalities dropped more than 65% from 38 deaths per day to 13. Injuries and illnesses from working are down a similar rate over the same period, dropping 67% from 11 incidents per 100 workers to just 4 per 100 workers in 2010.
What contains the first aid kit?
Having a first aid kit is an important part of being prepared for any emergency situation. Keep a first aid kit easily accessible and fully stocked, and remember to replace used and outdated contents regularly. A first aid kit should contain a chemical cold pack, scissors, adhesive tape, disposable gloves, antiseptic wipes, triangular bandages, roller bandages, sterile gauze pads, adhesive bandages, pain relief tablets, antibiotic ointments, tongue depressor, abdominal pad, eye pad, latex-free elastic wrap, and tweezers. You should also have first aid guides for reference. And some first aid kits include a breathing barrier in case resuscitation is needed.
How to use fire extinguisher?
Before using a fire extinguisher, ensure that someone notifies the fire department, alerts others about the fire, begins evacuating others from the premises. Fire extinguishers are for controlling small fires before they have a chance to spread. Before using one, make sure that you have a clear escape, you are familiar with the operating instructions of the fire extinguisher, and that the fire extinguisher you have is suitable for the fire you're facing. Before using the extinguisher on a fire, look at the fire class symbols on the front label to make sure the extinguisher you have is suitable for the type of fire you're facing. The most common classes of fires are A, B, C, and K. Class A fires involve common combustibles like wood, paper, and tires. Class B fires involve flammable liquids like gasoline and petroleum oil. Class C ratings involve energized equipment or things that are plugged in, like appliances, computers, televisions, and electric machinery. Class K fires involve cooking oils and greases, like vegetable fats. Once you've determined that the extinguisher is the correct type for the hazard, proceed to operate the extinguisher using the pass technique to control and extinguish the fire. First, hold the extinguisher upright and pull the pin. Next, stand 8 to 10 feet from the fire and aim the nozzle at the base of the fire. Do not get too close or aim the nozzle too high. Once the nozzle is aimed at the base of the fire, squeeze the levers together to begin discharge of the fire extinguishing agent. Maintain your distance from the fire and sweep the nozzle from side to side, sweeping 3 to 6 inches beyond the right and left edges of the fire. Discharge the extinguisher until contents are exhausted to prevent reignition. Move around the fire to confirm it is completely extinguished.
What are the most common injuries in the workplace?
Slips, trips and falls are a common cause of injury. Poor housekeeping, poor design of workplaces, and poor work practices are all factors that can contribute to the incident. By following some basic safety principles, for example, conducting risk assessments, keeping walkways clear of obstructions, cleaning up spills immediately, and keeping workplaces neat and tidy, the occurrence of slip, trip and fall injuries can be dramatically reduced. It's important when you spot a hazard in the workplace that you do something about it. Remove it, isolate it, or report it. If you don't, someone in your workplace may get injured. The consequences of an injury can be far-reaching. So remember, if you're aware of it, take care of it.
In summary, how to become a defensive driver.
Today we're going to talk about how to be a defensive driver. Always know what's going on around your car. Check your blind spots, check your mirrors. Always signal so other people know what you're going to do. Now, always, when you're driving, focus on the road. Not just in front of you, but also to the sides, at intersections, check driveways, watch for kids on the sidewalk on bikes, things like that. Basically, you need to know what's going on everywhere, all the time. Another reason for being a defensive driver is the consequences of not driving safe. Let's say you hit a pedestrian or another car, you could even go to prison if it's a bad enough wreck. So be really careful, drive safe, and good luck on the road.
So how can we protect our computer from virus?
One of the most common symptoms of malware that our users report is being taken to an unexpected site after clicking on a search result. These sites are often spammy. But malware can also cause pop-ups, unwanted toolbars, and other strange behavior. To avoid malware from infecting your computer in the first place, it's a good idea to follow a few general guidelines. First, upgrade your operating system and all of your software to the latest versions. Check for new versions regularly, and if possible, turn on automatic updates. Be careful not to click on links that you don't know the destination of or download files from a source that you don't trust. Similarly, before you download email attachments or click links in an email, make sure you trust the sender. And finally, make sure that you're running up-to-date antivirus software. If you think you've already got malware, you can usually also use antivirus software to detect and remove it. Malware has been known to do things like delete data on your computer, steal personal information such as credit card numbers and passwords, send spam email, or even attack other networks and computers.